Live from the news station. This is 7 News at 5:30.
And a live picture now of Little Havana, where thousands of Cuban exiles have been protesting the government raid on Elian Gonzalez's Miami home.
7 News is also live in Cutler Ridge tonight. People gathering there as well, waving the American flag in support of the government operation. Good evening again. I'm Craig Stevens.
And I'm Holly Herbert. Both demonstrations have been peaceful.
But the crowds in each have two very opposite points of view, obviously. And we're going to get started tonight in Little Havana, Southwest 8th Street between 4th and 22nd Avenues, closed off at this hour. In the middle of it all, 7 News senior reporter Mark Ludner. He begins our live Team 7 coverage. Mark.
Craig, we're at 8th Street and 4th Avenue, where a rally has just now broken up. For hours, people thronged through these streets, clogging the streets from 13th Avenue, the beginning of the march, to 4th Avenue, a distance of nearly 1 mile. For the length of that, you saw throngs of people. Let's go to some videotape of the march. Untold thousands of people gathering for this rally. There at the top of the screen, you see the stage where several people made speeches, which lasted until a short while ago. People carrying signs expressing their outrage over the government raid on the Miami home of Elian Gonzalez exactly 1 week ago today. A huge Cuban flag. Also many American flags in the crowd as people were determined to make a loud, long, and very peaceful statement of their frustration.
There's a real sense of frustration with the way that the Elian case has been handled by the Justice Department, the unnecessary use of force because the negotiations were underway. And this is an expression of the frustration of that community. And I think the two themes that are being heard here are justice for Elian and liberty for Cuba. That's the theme of the rally, and that is what people are out here to do.
And there you see some of the who knows how many thousands of people which rallied along Southwest 8th Street. Organizers had hoped for some 50,000. There you began to see a discouraging word in the skies above Southwest 8th Street. Somebody had rented an airplane to tow a banner saying, "Don't fight your battles here, take them back to Cuba." The only discouraging word, no incidents here involving police, no arrests that we know of. The Miami family of Elian Gonzalez, by the way, was not at this march. We spoke with Armando Gutierrez, the familiar spokesman for the family, and he said the family just needs some quiet time and some space, so they were not here. Coming up at 6, some more ground-level views, and we'll talk with Joe Carollo, the mayor of Miami, about some of the ethnic divisions in Miami that seem to be deepening. In Little Havana, Mark Lundner, 7 News.
Okay, Mark, the Miami family obviously not there, but clearly heartened, I would think, by the display we saw there today. Thank you, Mark.
Well, the people marching and the flags waving in Little Havana representing Hispanics from just about every country in Latin America.
7 News reporter Richard Lemus joins us live with a look at this aspect of the story tonight. Richard?
Craig, there are definitely representatives out here from all over the world. And as we look out into this sea of people, we are seeing flags from Colombia, Puerto Rico, and Israel. The message here that this crowd is gathered in Little Havana to support 6-year-old Elian Gonzalez. A melting pot with a message.
Oh, there's tons. I've seen Puerto Rico, I've seen Dominican Republic, Argentina, a whole bunch.
Says a lot about the South Florida community,
Not
right?
just Cubans.
Flags from all over the globe raised high above this crowd, composed of all ages and all races. Is it amazing to see this type of support from all over the world?
I've seen it before. This is the first time.
The support for 6-year-old Elian Gonzalez seen and heard loud and clear from this massive demonstration in the heart of Little Havana. Juan, and you are from?
Argentina.
What's your message out here today?
Well, I'm out here to offer support and prayers to Elian and the family, and just to represent the cause that he came for, looking for liberty, him and his mother. And it's something that, as Americans, we're all offered, and especially for Cubans, that the situation. This is a more difficult one considering the circumstances, but they say there's power in numbers, and there's definitely power in prayer.
And pray they definitely did. Earlier we saw a very nice ceremony out here where there was even a moment of silent prayer. Now, as for these tens of thousands of worldwide supporters, they say that they will remain out here until their message is heard loud and clear. That's going to do it live in the heart of Little Havana. I'm Richard Lemus, 7 News.
And across town this evening, a very different demonstration.
Hundreds gathering in support of the U.S. government and its removal of Elian. 7 News reporter Charles Balai continues live Team 7 coverage. He is in Cutler Ridge right now. Charles?
Very loud but very peaceful protest out here, Craig, and we are talking about thousands of people not confined to one area. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. You're looking at US 1 through Cutler Ridge, and US 1 through Cutler Ridge is completely wall-to-wall with cars and people and American flags. Now, we were able to speak with many people in the crowd, and they say what this is all about is what they call disrespect for the U.S. government and the U.S. flag, and this is what a couple had to say to 7 News.
We're not out here to demonstrate against the Cubans. We're out here to demonstrate their actions.
We understand their pain, but this is America, and we are supporting Janet Reno and President Clinton's decision.
And you can see that there is plenty of activity on the streets, and I'll tell you, I've never seen so many American flags in one place in my life. And we can tell you that some of the businesses down here in Cutler Ridge around the falls were putting out flyers and talking with lots of people and letting them know, getting the word out that you could come in and get an American flag at a reduced rate, and that is what you are seeing on the streets. Of course, there have been other protests in South Florida, also pro-government rallies. We saw one in Peacock Park. The people there specifically coming out in support of Miami Police Chief William O'Brien. Miami-Dade Police remain here, but it has been a very quiet, very peaceful day. We had an opportunity to speak with the police a while ago, and they said they are just standing, kind of watching it all, because people are just standing alongside the road and giving people's a thumbs up or a high sign or whatever it needs be to show that there's a lot of support for the American cause.
All right, Charles Balai, thank you for that live update tonight from Cutler Ridge. Meanwhile, as people in South Florida take to the streets, new pictures of Elian Gonzalez are being made public. The photos show Elian smiling and playing with his father and a dog at some point. One of the pictures captures a tender look between father and son and what appears to be a happy boy looking straight into his father's eyes.
And in Cuba tonight, more waiting and watching. It has been a week now since Elian was returned to his father. Many in Cuba now wondering why he's still not on the island. CNN's Lucia Newman reports from the boy's hometown of Cardenas.
On the street where Elian Gonzalez used to live and play, his absence is noticed. "We want our Elian to come back," reads this homemade sign. The Sanchez's have lived on this street in Cardenas, a small coastal city, for 57 years. There hasn't been a single neighbor that hasn't cried for that boy, not to mention his father and grandmothers, says Doña Ramona. "Elian, this is your land," read the government-printed signs. But for most people, Elian is not a political symbol, just a boy who's been made to suffer unnecessarily. Those who watched him grow up are overjoyed Elian's been reunited with his father. You can see the change in him now. Before, his face was sad. Now he looks happy, which goes to show that his father is the medicine that he needed, says this neighbor. The locals are equally passionate in their almost unanimous criticism of the Miami branch of the Gonzalez family. That Maris Lacey's, what she needs is to have a baby of her own, so she'll learn what real love for a son is, says this woman. The strongest recrimination, though, is reserved for Elian's great-uncle Lázaro, who revisited his hometown 2 years ago. Juan Miguel slept in the car so his uncle could use his bedroom and sleep in his bed. And look how he repaid him, says this neighbor. The Americans made room for him, and he still doesn't respect their laws. If I were the president, I'd expel him, says another. Just as in Miami, the fate of Elian Gonzalez stirs powerful passions here. Passions that perhaps will only be laid to rest when and if the boy returns to Cardenas.
Lucia Newman reporting for us tonight. Right now, we want to take you back out live to Little Havana, the Cayocho, 8th Street and 13th Avenue. I believe you can see the crowd beginning to break up after a remarkable occurrence there today. Tens of thousands, countless people really taking part in this peaceful demonstration of the government's forceful removal of Elian Gonzalez.
Live on 8th Street, where a group called Mothers Against Repression joined the thousands of others out here. We'll take a look at their role in today's march coming up.
And a live picture now from across town in Cutler Ridge, where supporters of the government raid are also out tonight, saying that they do sympathize with the Elian Gonzalez cause, saying, though, that they are upset about what they call disrespect for the U.S. government and the American flag. Our crews are in place covering it all. Stay with us.
www.sawgrass-ford.com. It's almost like being there. From a superstar model
Who's going to suspect me?
to a getaway driver
Frankie threw me the keys and said, Georgia, go get the car.
to married to the mob.
I don't think too many people have had a gun to their head.
What she will reveal will shock America.
Do you want me to describe knowing I was going to die?
America's Most Wanted, tonight at 9/8 Central on Fox.
Mad TV turns it up with a Goodfella family feud.
Name something a mother does for her children.
Arrange a hit. All new, late night Fox Saturday.
It's taking over. Everyone's catching it. What's the fever? Zero down. New Toyotas with zero due at signing. Catch it in the Toyota Camry with all this. Lease one for $278 a month. $278 for 48 months with zero due at signing. Camrys $278, zero down. Catch the fever today at your South Florida Toyota dealers.
WSVN-Ch. Habitat for Humanity is more than just building homes. It's about making dreams come true.
1, 2, 3.
It's the happiest day of my life.
The one for Habitat, it wouldn't have made this dream come true.
This is wonderful and we're very happy.
Thank you. For me and my family, thank you very much.
How about you? Are you ready to pitch in and make a real difference in someone's life? Well, Habitat would like to hear from you.
Be careful.
www.sawgrass-ford.com.
He wasn't kidding.
It's almost like being there.